Welcome back, painting friends. Today we're going to paint a fun little picture of a gnome at the beach. I have every color except for black on here, and I'm going to be honest, I might add black later, but red, pink, orange, yellow, green, dark blue, light blue, purple, brown, and black. I always use my favorite 4 brushes. I've got my 1-inch flat brush, my 10, 6, and 1 round brush. Remember to have a cup of water and a rag for keeping your brushes clean. And remember, if you like what you're seeing, like and subscribe to my YouTube channel so you are kept up to date on all of the tutorials. So let us get started. I'm going to start off with a lot of white paint from the halfway point up on my canvas. So all of this is going to be white, well, kind of splotchy white, okay, not real white, because then we're going to go in with light blue and a little bit of purple. So mostly light blue and then purple. We're just going to kind of brush those colors in to have a great ocean sky. We have that finished. We're going to take our brush. We don't even have to wash it off. We're going to take dark blue and, again, a little bit of purple, and we're going to make our ocean. So, a little space right below the water, or right below the sky. We're going to paint this in our watercolor. Wash and dry your brush off, and then we're going to again add a bunch of white below our water. This is going to be where the sand is going to go. So with the sand, I'm going to use yellow with a little bit of brown and brush those colors in for our sandy beach. We're going to let this dry. When we come back, we're going to add in our gnome and all of our fun details. Now that I have a dry background, let's go ahead and lay out where our little gnome is going to go. I'm going to draw with my number 6 round brush. So I'm going to draw everything out with white first, and then we'll add some colors. So with my number 6 round brush, I'm going to start right here in the center, and I'm going to make this oval shaped nose. From there, I'm going to take my brush, I'm going to make a wavy line, kind of looks like a mustache, right? And then that is going to be my gnome hat. So you can make your gnome hat a straight triangle. You can make it kind of crazy and wavy. I'm going to give mine a little hook on the top. And it's just going to go down to the edge of the head. Go ahead and paint this in, because I'm going to paint this yellow and that blue background. Sometimes they fight and we get a green. We want it to be a nice, clean, white background for this gnome hat. Now, our gnome body, we're really just going to make it kind of look like a potato. Okay, we're going to start here and we're just going to make a big letter U shape. Super simple. And then we're going to put our little gnome feet right here at the base. Now, as far as the body color goes, you can make your gnome any color you want. I am going to try to do like a peach color, which means I'm going to take white, orange, and a little bit of brown and mix them together until I get a nice, good peach color for my gnome. And if your color is too dark, you always add a little bit of white. If it's too light, you can always add some more of that brown color in there. So you got lots of choices. So I have my peach color now, and I'm just going to go right in here and paint this nose peach. Then I'm going to take a small amount of red paint and kind of tap it in there so that her nose is just a little bit more rosy than the rest of her body. Perfect. Then I'm going to go ahead and paint her whole entire body in this color. That way when I go to put the bathing suit on, if I have any parts I didn't hit, it's not a big deal. I could take that brush and I could just kind of wipe it off. I can now go in and add her hair. So you can make your gnome hair any color you want. I'm gonna make mine brown. So right here, coming from the hat, I'm just gonna make some ovals, okay? And each of these ovals is gonna be painted in, but this is gonna be her braids. So you can make yours as big or as narrow as you want, but I want my gnome to have nice, big, thick braids. And then inside each of these, all I'm doing is making a letter X. That helps give it the texture of the braid. And then down at the bottom, we can add just a couple of little frills of hair sticking out the bottom. Now let's go ahead and get this bathing suit on her. So I'm gonna take my number 6 round brush with some white paint, and I'm gonna make a big letter M right up here at the top, and a big letter M right down here at the bottom, and that is gonna be her bikini top. I'm gonna add a little bit of white so that it's a little bit more filled in. And then her gnome bikini bottom will just be kind of a smiley face right here, and it'll go all the way down towards her feet. And since we already have since we already have yellow on our brush, we can go ahead and paint in her hat as well. Okay, we're gonna let this dry. When we come back, we're gonna add in our next layer to our beach-loving gnome. With a dry background, I'm now gonna add in the fun details. So you can choose to put whatever you want with your gnome picture. I do want my gnome to have a surfboard with her. So just over here on the side, I'm gonna make a triangle up. I've got my number 6 round brush with some white paint. And then it's gonna come right down next to her. And you can make your surfboard look any way you want. I'm going to make mine just a pretty simple color. I'm going to start with some purple at the bottom. And I'm going to wipe that brush off, and I'm going to put some pink up here at the top. Wash that brush off. Now for my hair, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through and I'm going to re-bump the outside edges of my hair. So just the outside edge. A little bit of that brown paint, I'm just going to add a couple of little bumps on there. Then on the inside of each little knot of hair, I'm going to use my number 6 round brush and a little bit of white paint, and I am just going to make a small little V shape in the top of each one. So right where those X's meet, I'm just putting a little V shape in the top of each one. For her hat, I'm going to go ahead and add some flowers on it. So I'm going to take a little bit of green paint on my number 6 round brush, and I'm just going to make a couple of leaves. So a leaf here, awfully light green paint. Leaf here, a leaf here, maybe one up here. I like to do things in odd numbers. So either I have to stop there, or if I choose to add a couple more, I do need to make sure that I make them an odd number. For her bikini, I am going to add just a little bit of detail. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a little bit of orange and mix it with some of my yellow. So I just want to darken my yellow up the slightest amount so that I could see a little bit of change in color. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to make 2 little lines underneath the bottom of her bikini and 2 on the top. Same thing down here, a line across and just a line at the bottom. And then I'm going to actually grab a pencil. I like to make really nice big dots using a pencil. So I'm going to make this a polka dot bikini. You can make your polka dot any color you want. I'm going to stick with white for mine. I do want to add in her little flip-flops, and so I'm going to grab some pink paint. And I'm going to make her little shoes down here pink. Wash that brush off. I'm going to grab a little bit of that orangish yellow mix that I made for her bikini. I'm going to add just a little bit of white to it because I'm also going to add a small little line right here showing where her neck is. But I don't want it to be the same color as her skin, so I want it to be just a little bit darker. I'm going to add a highlight to her nose with my white paintbrush, number 6 brush, a little bit of white paint. Add a little bit of a highlight to the top of her hat and even along the sides of her hat and on the top of that surfboard. Now in her other hand, of course, she's going to have her coconut drink. So I'm going to take some brown and yellow paint, mix it with a little bit of white to make it a really nice coconut color. And then over here, I'm going to make a big old coconut right here for her to hold on to. For that coconut, I could take a little bit of dark brown and make some little shadow on the bottom. We'll add a small little white straw coming out of the top. And then of course we have to have our umbrella, right? So we're gonna put our little tropical drink umbrella right on in there with pink paint. And all that is a curved line and then a little scalloped line at the bottom. I can add a little bit of white to the top of that to lighten it up. And I'm going to add a brown line going down into the drink. And using some of that skin color again, I'm just going to go right around the back side of this and add 3 little finger marks. So just 3 little ovals. She's holding on to that. Same thing over here, just 3 little ovals. So she is holding on to her surfboard and her drink. Maybe she even has her fingernails painted. All right, let's give her a little bit of red paint on the tips of these fingernails. Now let's add her flowers to her hat. I'm going to go with some red paint, and I'm just going to make a couple of lines that kind of connect in the center with red. And then also again with pink. a white dot in the middle. I'm going to copycat those flowers on my surfboard. But the green on the surfboard is going to be more of a wavy green. So we're going to add a couple of little fun spirals. We'll add a couple of leaves on those spirals. We're going to add one big red flower. A few white spots right in the middle. I think we need a little sand bucket right down here in the front also. So I'm going to take some blue, make a curved oval at the top, and then my sand bucket's going to go down at an angle. You can paint that sand bucket in and add some white to the side of it. And then in the top, I'm going to put a couple of seashells. And seashells are all different kinds of natural colors. So you can kind of use any color you want from the picture you made. I've got that brown that I used for her skin. I'm adding some seashells in there. A couple of little lines on those shells. I can even add some orange and some yellow and make a starfish. Maybe even a pinkish orange one also. We'll highlight on the top of each of these. We'll highlight around the top of the bucket too. You can even add some dark blue on the side of the bucket and even a handle in dark blue. And remember, when you're finished painting, you need to sign your canvas. I never get to see what you're painting at home unless you post it to my Facebook page, Painting with a Purpose. Make sure that you like and subscribe to my YouTube channel, Painting with a Purpose, so you're kept up to date on all of the tutorials. And remember, as always, stay kind, stay creative, and stay safe. Have a great day now. Bye, friends.